Hey guys, this is your boy Euno, and you are tuned into Real Talk with Euno. You already know what it is. So I just turned 31 on Tuesday. Birthday to me. Just turned the big old 31. I know 31 isn't meaning much to most people. It's not like 30 or 35 or 21 or 18 or 40 and shit. It's 31, girl, I guess. However, not the motherfucker bad, drop it down. But the past 7 days, which was from Tuesday to Monday, into Tuesday, I will say, I went through depression. I feel like, I've been working every day nonstop for the past couple of months. I've had a couple of days off here for mental breaks, and I went on a cruise for 6 days, had a good time, and that came from my little birthday weekend or whatever. But from that Tuesday to Monday, I went through a lot of mental fights with myself. Part of it was stress. Actually, no, all of it was really stress. But stress because working so much, being a 9-to-5 ass bitch, and you're working, 5 days a week, 40 hours a week, getting your check every 2 weeks, and then by Monday you're fucking broke again. When we want to be adults, we were children, we said, oh, we want to be adults so bad, so we do what we want to do, and da-da-da, and you realize, okay, now that you're an adult, did you realize what it came with it? Because bills, ghetto, GHE ghetto, bills, insurance, health, medical insurance, car note, paying for your space, either you're renting or we have a mortgage, life, utilities, sun pass. Bitch, I was like, girl, we didn't ask for all that. We want to be adult. We want to just have the freedom. This ain't freedom, child. But as somebody who's been working every day for the past couple of months, and we're talking only getting breaks here and there, a call out here, or try for a PL day here, or switch a off day here, or just taking a little vacation. And mind you, only had one vacation, which was in May for my best friend's birthday, who wasn't even there because of circumstances, and so had a cruise, which I had a good time, but that shit was ghetto, no shade. And then going through a birthday weekend and getting clarity and realizing a lot of shit. So I'm gonna go down to 5 things. My homegirl Bianca, she asked me at brunch on Sunday, what is some things you've learned at the age of 30? And it's crazy that she asked me during her birthday. We've been drinking all fucking night, but I still had a mind to tell her because it's been sitting on my mind for them 7 days. And 31 came, and I was just so defeated. And then, I've seen a lot of scriptures on Instagram, Bible stuff and things like that, giving myself to God and getting back in tune with my faith, and just, hearing people speak about their own situations, having conversations over the weekend, with family and, friends and this and the third. It really took a toll, but in a positive note, in which I want to share them 5 things with you. So, number 1, things don't last forever. And I gotta hit the hookah real quick. Hold on. Because I think this is the hardest one out of all 5 things. Relationships, friendships, situationships. They don't always last forever. Even when you find the love of your life and you get married, it only lasts until somebody croaks. And what sucks is because of the fact that, every human in the world wants to be loved. Again, platonically, in relationship, in love, by their kids, by their friends. And sometimes friendships have to come and go, because sometimes people only are a momentary part of your life. It's not forever. And it sucks because the person I am is so loving. I will give you my all. God knows I have it, you have it. Every time. And it feels like I'm giving myself to people who don't appreciate it, or maybe that's just me feeling that way. But I've lost friendships or have dwindled down my friendship with people because, and I'm not perfect. I can do a lot of fucked up shit. I really fucking can, and not because you deserve it or did something to me, just because of the fact that like, what headspace was I in when you fucked with me? But sometimes I do it out of just me being a stupid ass bitch and losing friendships that are very important to me. And that's very, very rare for me. But the fact that still can be an example because I'm not the perfect person, but none of us are. But at the same time, you know, you start to feel like you invest into somebody so much and you feel like it's mutual, and then a situation happens and it goes down the drain. I'm not getting the details into how I feel about that specific thing, but I'll just say this. If it's meant to be, it is meant to be. And that goes for everything. But especially when it comes to friendship relationships, if you got to step back to analyze, if you think you got shit fucked up, do so. Because people start to show their true colors at the worst times. And it's only then if you have the heart to forgive them and or look past it. Looking past don't mean the fact that shit won't happen again. You feel me? But, you know, that type shit. Number 2, expectations. See, the thing is, as human beings, we always put and set goals for ourselves that we will have this or that at the end of this month, or this and that by next year, or this and that by a couple of days. And the thing about life is, life will life. It don't give a fuck about you. But all you gotta do is tackle it back when you feel like it's coming at you crazy. But again, I was setting goals like having a car and having, you know, myself ready for school in a couple of months, or, you know, being financially more stable. And I started to realize that none of the things were happening by Tuesday. And because I set that goals up every month to where I'm like, okay, if it don't happen this month, it happen next month, and that's the goal, and it did not happen. And I felt like after being so consumed at that damn hospital, you know, 8 days, but I feel like 8 days, 7 days a week, 8 hours a day, like, bitch, like, do you have a life? And in my younger 20s, I thought life was being to go out after, you know, working with these fucking people and, you know, getting a drink and twerking my ass. But sometimes life is literally just going to work, coming home, and being your peace. And it's just that simple. Especially now being 31. 30s when I started to pick up the fact that, bitch, you gotta be outside all the time. The fuck? Like, sit your ass home and chill. Part of that because I got a vehicle, but I still made it work. But part of that because of the fact that, bitch, what's more important? You get to work, or you pay, or going outside and buying a bottle and shit with your friends and having a good time for 2-3 hours, but then regretting in the morning. Oh, okay. Expectations. Okay, we're adults. We have to act right, and that means making better decisions. And I realized I'm starting to make better decisions now than I was doing in my 20s. That's on period. Number 3, stress. And I said number 1 was gonna be hard, but this one's harder. It's gonna get hard as I go. So I'm gonna start getting emotional, and it's okay, because I've learned that all that, oh man, no cry bullshit is bullshit. Okay, stress. When they say stress will take you out, it will. And I've always been a person that's stress-free. Even at my worst, if something's bothering me or taking me out of my element, you're not gonna know. You're not gonna see it. You're not gonna know I'm going through it unless you know who I am and how I function. But 9 times out of 10, girl, what the fuck this shit is? Bye, whatever, fuck it. Like, girl, ain't whatever, ain't gonna be a deal, whatever. But as you start getting older, you start losing some of that optimism because, yeah, shit really is fucking with you. But I had the time during them 7 days because it was like, who am I? And why am I letting me losing myself in just a couple of days take me out? Like, and that's not me. Like, you know, I never faked the funk by no means. But when I lose my jolly self and giving people, life into them, or, exuding energy into people, because, as a Cancer who has an empath, I do give energy. I read energy very well, and I do feed off of energy, which is why I like going outside all the time, because everybody having a good time. I'm having a good time. Energy is good. I just feed off of energy. So when I start learning to feed off my own energy, one that wasn't working is the fact that I'm one person. And if I'm only feeding off of myself, if I'm in a bad place in my life, that affects everything that goes into my day to day. And that's not good. What I learned was, everything will be okay. Because once you go all the way to the bottom, only thing you have to do is go up, right? So the fact that I had to realize, hey, you're not going to do all these things by this day. But does that mean you're a failure? Fuck no. I might not have a 6-figure job right now. I might not have a car. I might not have finished school, but all those things will be done. But instead of trying to make it when I want it done, to force it, I had to learn during this time to also remember that God is in control. Let him take it. Because if you do it on your own and don't let God play his part, it's always going to fail. And if you do get it, it's momentary and it backfires, teaches you a lesson. And so, it took a minute, and I'm still, dealing with a little bit of stress, but it's not where I couldn't think properly and analyze everything. And that takes a lot to be able to look at oneself and realize, girl, bitch, you better calm the fuck down. And also at the same time be like, bitch, but you better work. Balance is number 4. Balance. See how I did that segment? Balance. I didn't know balance in my 20s. But I didn't also really learn balance in my 30s. Because you need a life. You cannot work and not use that time, that PTO, the planning, being with people you love, family, whatever, and not have a good time. We're only on this earth for a limited time. And if you don't allow yourself to actually see the world and have a good time and people that fuck with you, what's the point of living? Like, God put a purpose for all of us in this life. Whether it's for you to be a millionaire, a thousandaire, if it's you just to be a great fucking parent, or you to start a business, or to, be that bitch, whatever the fuck that means to you. You need to find balance. And yes, you can have a 9-to-5 and still be successful. And don't let any bitches tell you that. What I will say that I wish I knew back then in my 20s was to, 1, get a trade. 2, be more focused in my schooling, because I was not focused at all. Which is why I'm 31 getting a bachelor's degree when I should have got my shit at motherfucking 24. Right? Because don't get it wrong, partying is great. You need to be outside, you need to be with your friends, you fuck shit up, But guess what? If you party too much, you don't get your shit together, then you don't graduate. Or if you don't put the time to study and understand the material, and this is telling about personal experience. The first part wasn't me, though. This part is me. I didn't clarify that because, bitch, I don't do that. I be at class all the time, bitch. But I was never a studier. And I'm guaranteed if I studied when I was at Barry, I wouldn't have to go through my dating at FIU. Don't get me wrong. FIU Panthers, period. But, bitch, again, I'll put about a degree by 23. I got to Barry at 19. 4 years is 23. And I did not get that goal. But that was also a time in my life where I didn't understand the ability of balance. And still all that time I didn't understand balance. But now, at 31, I understand. You gotta do things in moderation. It's okay to go turn the fuck up, but is your bills paid? It's okay to have a good time, but do you make sure that everything in your household is straight? It's okay to go get lit, but if you're in a relationship, are you able to balance that in your other friendships? Because guess what? You're one person, but you also appeal to other people. So, does that make sense? And I had to learn that, outside's cute, but you got priorities. And that's how you balance. Like, when they say, oh, you get tired of going outside all the time. I got tired. Especially in Miami, where most places are the same thing, where they revamp or, the music or whatever. Miami do the same shit. So, girl, whatever, fine. Yeah. Trust me. Y'all visiting is one thing. Y'all living here is another. And that's on period. Last but not least, number 5. Acceptance. And this one that got me the most because it hurts. And I'm gonna get deep, so just hold on with me as I go through this. I had to accept who I am at 30. And part of understanding, like, you're not healthy. I'm saying this for who couldn't and drink with you on the podcast, but that's because I need to get in a mood to talk. Not because I can do it sober, but because it gives me the clarity to talk more candidly without feeling like, oh, girl, you shouldn't say that, but this is my podcast. I'll say what the fuck I want to. You're not healthy. Your debt ratio is crazy as fuck. Okay, period. You have a bachelor's degree, bitch. The fuck? You been in so many car accidents that the last one that you got into made you not have a car for 7 years. You're not broke by no means. You would get a job, but you will make more? Yes. But are you trapped where you're at? Yes. And it hurts. Do you see the fact that your other friends, they're doing better than you, and you don't feel jealous of that by no means? Not at all. But it hurts the fact that you're just as capable as them, and you're not at a place where you're happy. And you should be able to say that as people who fuck with you. You're not broke, but you should have made better decisions early in your life that would have put you in a place where you're not where you are right now. Love sucks. Knowing that you're in a community as a bisexual man, but like niggas, a gay man, that you might not find love right now because you fat. And the gays, especially Miami, don't like fat niggas. But if you got healthy, who are you doing it for? To find love or for you? Of course, the answer is me, duh. But the fact I had to question myself for that, it's crazy. Are you able to lose friends? Is it in your heart? No. Have you done it? Yes. But does it make you go crazy? Absolutely. Are you enough? Everybody goes through shit. We all do. But could I fend for myself as an adult? Not that I can't, but I wish I was more equipped. That's personal. And I'm good, I make shit happen. But under what circumstances? But what do? You get the fuck up and go. And once you understand fuck it, and not fuck it because you don't care, mind you, when I say that, fuck it as in, guess what, bitch, That's life. Are you going to keep going forward, or are you going to give the fuck up? And you better not get the fuck up, because you got so much shit going on. There's so many people who have poured into me. I don't know what's about you, but your aura. And I'm not trying to boost myself up. This is people who have told me for real. You have so much potential in you, and you are not tapping into it. But when you do, you'll soar. You'll be on somebody's TV station. I bet. I see it in you. Or, oh, you know what? I bet if you put more content out and get more efficient, you'll have that place on social media. I've been viral on a podcast 3 times. But it amounts to me getting more followers than that? No, of course not. Not that it couldn't, but it's the podcast that did the work. I was just there talking. But did my voice give me connections? Absolutely. See, one thing about a bitch like me, it's not being cocky. One thing a bitch about me is you have to not like everything gets to you. But I'm a Cancer, I still do. But because I'm talking about shit, does not have to concern me all the way where I gotta get a defensive mechanism, which my cousin said all my life I've had that. But, right? I'm not letting them stop me. And that's one thing that touched me the most during those 7 days. You gonna give up? After you've put so much work in, do what you gotta do, or do what you need to do, or do what you're trying to do to get where you at? No. Because if I do, then what's the point? You know? But understand that I'm being vulnerable, because I'm not scared to tell my business. You know? As long as you ain't my sexual business, isn't a conversation. But like personal business, I mean, I can tell you all this shit right now, and you still know if I'm going through for real, unless you know who, like, I've told you or anything. But I'll say this though, I realized it's not just me, and that's when you come to the realization that we're human. We all going through some shit. Sometimes it's mutually with someone else is going through the same shit, but different, living differently. Or it's just, damn, bitch, like, girl, life is lifing. And it's crazy how everybody's life is lifing. Whether you're doing good or bad, it's something in your life that's lifing. And that's when you just realize, listen, is you gonna get through it or not? And that's on period. So, with that being said, thank you for my TED Talk. I'm kidding. But no, thank you for those who do tune into my podcast. Again, I thought I was doing 2 podcasts a month, or, be doing face right now, but this has been easier for me and easy to give you the podcast to listen to when, you're doing your own thing, living life or whatever, plug me when you're running in shit, or you need something to listen to, whatever the case may be. But I appreciate every single one of y'all. And with that being said, happy birthday to me. And that's on period. Have a nice day.